Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Kimmer and I'm here to talk to you further about chakras. In the last video we covered the first three chakras. We covered the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, and now I'd like to finish off with the last four, and we're going to start with the heart. And the heart is the bridge between the upper chakras and the lower chakras. The lower chakras are the earthly chakras, and the upper chakras are the divine chakras. The upper chakras receive their energy from spirit or from the divine, and the lower chakras receive their energy from Mother Earth. The energies go up and down your spine, so in essence you receive them from both ways, but that's what is believed, is that if you're going to help your root chakra, grounding is the best. Go on the ground. In your solar plexus and your sacral also, whereas meditating and taking in the energies from the divine cleans out your crown chakra and your third eye, your throat, and your heart is both. It's the bridge. It's what connects. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the heart, and it's female energy, so love, female energy, and it's about life force. It's about purpose and meaning, love. And the soul lesson is brotherhood and love, and it develops at 22 to 28 years old. So at 22 your heart chakra really starts to develop, and at 28 years it's usually matured by then. And when the heart chakra is partially open early in childhood but closes down as we mature and we become products of our culture and conditioning, and we take on everybody else's thoughts and opinions. And around the age of 28, when the heart chakra matures, it expands. The heart opens. It starts to open up. It wants to be more. And it expands through marriage, children, mature love. You know, before it was just family love and friend love, but now it's a different kind of love, and it blossoms your heart out. And if you've had a traumatic childhood, this might not happen for you. It might begin a process, but it might not go as far as it wants to, and it ends up closing again, because a traumatic childhood is hard to come back from, and especially if it's continuation throughout your entire life, because, you know, poor choices, and you've been conditioned to believe you're not worthy, so you settle, you know, those kind of things. So your heart doesn't expand, and it stays small, and that's when ego goes. If your heart isn't in balance with your mind, ego takes over. And most narcissists are truly traumatized, but they made poor decisions, and they made poor thought processes, feeling-wise, poor emotional decisions, and they close their heart. And when you close your heart and then you continue to do things against your soul, then more layers get put on your heart, and the ego takes control. And that is what is happening in our earth right now. That's the entire world, not just America, not just here, the whole world. Humanity is in need of a reboot. It needs to be just totally redone. So everybody needs to be cleansed. Everybody needs to be educated spiritually, and we need it bad. So that's what this is all about. So back to the heart chakra. The note for it is F, the musical note, and the color is green, pink, and gold. And it's green when you're a child, it's pink when you're an adult, and then it's gold when you're going through your spirit, when you finish your spiritual awakening. When you're spiritually mature, the heart color is gold. And the frequency is 639 hertz. So that means that at that frequency you can help heal the heart. Because if you do the same frequency, that's healing. And the qualities of the heart chakra are peace, love, brother and sisterhood, joy. That's what we all want. That's what our purpose is to find balance and joy. Find our purpose. So it's It's located in the heart and the lungs and the circulatory system. And the organs associated with it are pericardium, heart, lungs, arms, hands, and shoulders. So if you have problems in any of those areas, it's usually heart chakra related. You know, I'm not telling you that to clean your chakras will heal you completely. There's a lot more to do than just that. But that is the basics. I mean, that's where you start. You need to get your energy system cleaned up in order to heal, in order to get your immune system boosting, going. So, there's a lot of other things, and we will discuss a lot of things in the future. I've been researching for over a decade, and I'm here to share. I just want to share with you guys what I know, instead of you spending all them thousands of hours looking things up. So, anyway, it's physical conditions, if things aren't going right, if your chakra is blocked, is arterial sclerosis, angina, autoimmune, there's many of those, myocardial infarction, heart arrhythmia, all the heart ailments, allergies. Allergies are a big one here, and pneumonia, bronchitis, tuberculosis, and asthma. I always had pneumonia, bronchitis, and asthma, and then it went into allergies. I was allergic to everything. So yeah, my heart chakra was completely blocked because of all the trauma that I went through. So if this is your world, continue watching my videos so I can help you heal yourself. I can't do it for you. The doctor can't do it for you. Nobody can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. That's what God sent us here for, is to learn how to save ourselves. Jesus isn't coming. Nope, he's not. Okay, the gland is the thymus. Now remember, heart chakras are the energy centers over your endocrine system. It regulates your endocrine system, which regulates the glands, which produces the hormones. So it's the thymus for the heart. And the thymus is your immunity. Yes. It feeds the immune system. It feeds energy to the immune system and to the thymus. And if you're happy, you're healthy, not fake happy. I would say 3/4 of the people on earth right now are pretending to be happy. They don't know what true happiness is. True happiness is wholeness. It's doing your soul purpose. It's walking the right path. And it's probably higher than 3/4, but I'm just going to say 3/4. And when you're born, your thymus is the size of a fist, and it shrinks as we age because of all of the bad things that happen to us. We go through a lot of conditioning and a lot of negativity, and it shrinks, and then your energy system shrinks, and then your immune system wanes. It goes in the wrong direction. We're born with perfect immune systems. Perfect. We are born perfect. Whatever the doctors have told you is completely wrong. Why would God put children on earth that have issues right off the bat? He didn't. Man did that. We are born perfect. And it's through man's processes that we get these conditions, disorders, diseases. It's by man's hands, not by God's. We're just here for lessons. And our lessons have become very fake. All right. Anyway, balanced chakra, you feel trust, loving, compassion, generous, enthusiastic, connected to others, centered and present, and you're good-natured. I mean, we all have those days where you feel like that, but this is a life like that. If your heart chakra is balanced, it's great. Everything goes smooth. It also helps when the atmospheric energy is positive, because we're going through right now a spiritual awakening. It's an ascension process with the frequency of the earth and the sun, and God sending his frequency also, and sometimes it's releasing frequency, so you feel bad. And it's not because your heart is blocked, it's just because it's a releasing energy, so you're supposed to feel bad. You're supposed to feel it. Because if you don't feel it, you contain it, and then no new energy can enter and That's the point of awakening. So when the heart chakra is underactive, when it's blocked, you feel mistrustful. You have fear of intimacy, jealous and greed and hopelessness, and you're lonely and you feel ostracized from society and isolated, and your immune system's very poor and you lack purpose. And if it's overactive, meaning that all the energy is running through your heart because your upper chakra, your throat chakra above it, is blocked, so then all the energy stops and it runs all through your heart from the bottom up. And if that happens, then you feel anxiety and you're panicky and you have no boundaries and you're a martyr, judgmental, you're needy, codependency, you tolerate abusive behavior, you don't feel worthy, but you can't forgive either. Desperate, overgiving, bitter, lack of empathy, and overprotective. All those things, it doesn't mean you're all of those, but that's what you can be if you have an overactive heart chakra. The heart communicates physical and emotional needs, and it's special. It's special. It tells you. It's your second brain. And this is something I did not know. The heart energy source for the immune system, it is 5,000 times more powerful than the brain. EMF, electromagnetic field, it's 5,000 times more powerful than the brain. So it's almost more important than your brain, because when they're in sync, when they're both working together, life is great. And that's what we're going for. That's our goal. The next chakra is the throat chakra. It's the fifth chakra. And it's male energy, and it's expressions and communications. And through it we say yes or no to life's options. And the soul lesson is expressing divine will. And the color is turquoise. It's blue too. It's like a blue and turquoise. Develops between ages 29 and 35. So it matures at age 35. And at 35, you should speak your truth. You should know exactly what you want, and you should be expressing it, and you should be doing it. That's what the throat chakra is all about. The note, the musical note is G, and that's so, do, re, mi, fa, so. And the frequency is 741 hertz. Now, do you see how as we go up in the chakras, the hertz goes up also, the frequency goes up? Yeah, so when you get up to the crown chakra, it's pretty high. And the qualities of the throat chakra are your will, your will to do things, creativity, expressing your truth, individuality, and integrity. Integrity is a big thing, and there's not a lot of it right now in this world. Unfortunate. It's located in the throat, the mouth, the ears, the teeth, the jaw, the larynx, the tonsils, thymus, and thyroid. Again, remembering that if you have problems in those areas, that's the chakra. So that's where its domain is. And the gland that it regulates is the thyroid, and it regulates metabolism, body growth. It helps develop your teeth. Enhances muscle tone, and it aids in mental development. It also promotes the functional development of the sexual organs and adrenal glands. It helps in that. It releases hormones to help them down there. And if it's blocked, and your physical conditions could be sore throat, larynite, the throat problem, deafness, I can't say the word, tooth and gum problems, ear infections, and tonsillitis. And what can block or damage the throat chakra is substance abuse, because it's going through that area. Overeating, again, it's going through that area. Or eating all the wrong foods, because you want your system to be clean and well kept. Lying will do it, gossip, and lack of integrity. All those can block your chakra, because that's against what you're supposed to be doing for that chakra. If it's blocked, you can have speech disorders. You'll be arrogant. You'll have that victim mentality. You'll dominate conversations. We all know those people, don't we? You talk with a harsh tone. You force your opinions on everybody, and you think that they're supposed to listen to you. There's always one in every group. Substance abuse and eating disorders. You're terrified speaking in public. You have bad boundaries, and you can't commit to anything. You just can't, you can't say yes or no. You just, if somebody asks you something, you're just like, oh, maybe, yeah. We all know somebody like that, too. And if it's overactive, that means if it's all going through your throat chakra because your third eye is blocked, then you have excessive talking, gossiping, you speak aggressively, interrupting, overly critical, overthinking everything. You're very self-important, and you're cruel with strange, so your relationships are all strange because of it. And the throat chakra blocks when there's suppressed feelings and unspoken emotions. That's what blocks it. And to unblock the chakra, you must have deep commitment to speaking your truth and live from integrity. That's the key right there. Speak your truth. Now, there's a fine line to speaking truth. You don't just go around blabbing everything. You don't. That's not speaking your truth. That's just being right, I think. Speaking your truth is when you know there's a situation that needs the truth spoken or done. That's when you do it. It's not everybody needs to know everything you know. That's not it. You don't go to a dinner party and you know something and you just go and blab it to everybody. That's, even if it's not gossiping, that's not what it means. Speaking your truth means making a difference in the world for the betterment of others. That's what speaking the truth is. It means if you know there's information out there that's going to hurt somebody or make somebody make a bad decision, you should tell them. Even if it's uncomfortable. That's the biggest thing around right now is nobody wants to come out of their comfort zone. That's why we have so many issues in the world, because everybody wants to be comfortable. I tried to talk to my neighbors about a couple of things, and they won't have anything to do with it because they don't want to see what's really happening. They don't want reality. But we must try anyway. Don't force it. Don't, make them listen to you, but you can plant seeds. That's what I do. I plant little seeds. In a conversation, I still have to make myself a little small. I do, because they're just not where I'm at. So you have to meet them somewhat where they're at. But then you can throw little tidbits out there and plant seeds. Don't stay there. You just say something and then you go on to something that makes them feel comfortable because their consciousness got it. It's just that they didn't stay there long enough to have it in the forefront. But it'll come about. It's planting seeds, and you have to wait for that tree to grow, and sometimes it takes a long time. But we'll get there. The throat chakra, before I forget, is where you receive your divine messages too. There's a little place in the back of your neck, on the bottom of your, the spine. I don't remember how to describe it, but it's at the back of your neck, and below, it's where your reptilian brain is, and that's where you receive your messages from the divine. Downloads, some people call them. So it's hearing as well as communicating, and it's clairaudience. That's what it is. So that's your throat chakra. And on to the sixth chakra, and that's your third eye or brow chakra. And it's female energy, and it's about intelligence, control, and wisdom. It's the higher mind and enlightenment. The soul lesson is detachment and intuition. That's where your intuition is. That's where it comes in. That's where you decipher it. And the color is indigo, and it's located in the middle of the forehead, and it develops 36 to 42 years. So you can see that as you get older, you develop more and more spiritual gifts, we'll say. The musical note is A or La, and the frequency is 852 hertz. We're getting up there now. And the qualities provides energy for us to have clear and concise thoughts, gifts, and logical, intuitive, and imaginative thoughts. So it's where everything is decoded for you, and that's where your intuition is kept. And it's how we see ourselves and others. It's wisdom, discernment, imagination, and knowledge. And the gland that it regulates is the pituitary. You knew that, right? The pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is responsible for clairvoyance. That's the link. And it regulates all the other glands. So your pituitary gland oversees all the glands below on the lower chakras. So it's very important, very. And let's see. So don't have limiting beliefs, because all your hormones will be affected by it, because when your belief system is limited, so is your energy. And it's located in the eyes, the sinuses, the base of the skull, and the temporal lobes. And the physical conditions that can occur if it's blocked is migraines, blindness or eye problems, glaucoma, insomnia, cataracts, brain tumors, stroke, ear infections, poor vision, and sleep issues. Now there's a lot more. There's a lot more conditions. I'm just giving you a scope of it. You know, the ones that I thought were more important, that might be, you know, more used or more done, I should say. So if you have any problems in that area, it's going to be the third eye area chakra that's out. And if it's unbalanced, your actions, you'll overwork, you'll burn out, you'll have a foggy mind, you'll be indecisive, you'll lack intuition, of course, anxiety, depression, you'll feel unworthy. Vanity is one. Now, we see a lot of that in the world. There's a lot of vanity. So everybody's third eyes are all blocked or very slow. Lack of creativity, narrow-mindedness, of course. Memory issues, nightmares, not trusting your own perception, and second-guessing yourself. I do that a little bit, so I think I need to clean up my chakras. And remember, it's not one and done. When you clean up your chakras, you have to continually do it. And I can't tell you enough, every morning when you take your shower, you should be doing the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Over and over again. I do it as close to the wall as I can so it'll reverberate back. And that's like a triple shot of frequency, because you're creating it inside, you're hearing it in your ears, and the frequency is bouncing off the walls, and you're absorbing that also. So I can't tell you enough. That is the main way I clear my chakras. But we'll get into more healing with the chakras after I'm done telling you about these things. If we're positive about who we are and how we feel about our experiences, our brow chakra, third eye, will be healthy, balanced, and provide us with abundant energy to do the things we love. If it's overactive, if the crown is the only blocked chakra you have and everything's running through the third eye, all the energy is running out, you'll feel paranoid. You'll have extreme nightmares. You'll be scattered and anxious, and you have an overactive imagination, almost like you don't know what reality truly is, and your mind runs away with you, and you have so many thoughts and no focus. That was my humongous problem. When I first started my spiritual journey, I had 100 thoughts in my head at the same time, all the time. I couldn't focus. I couldn't finish anything. It was schizophrenia. That's what the lower form of schizophrenia is, I believe, is your third eye is overactive because your crown is blocked or running slow. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't do much of anything. I just went through the motions of the day and performed whatever I could perform, but I never did well at anything. And I did that for about 6 months. It was horrific, maybe even more. I had a breakthrough and went on my spiritual journey, and it took a while. It did. It took a while to calm that down. But if your mind is looping and looping and looping, and you're just thinking about everything that's ever happened to you, everything that happened in your day, everything you want to happen, and it's just going on and on and on, it's your third eye. And you need help with unblocking that or balancing that, because that's a horrible way to live. Oh, I know firsthand. The last chakra, the seventh chakra, is your crown, and that's right on the top of your head, and that's your spiritual understanding and oneness of life. And it's male energy, and the soul lesson is to be one with Source. So if you feel like you are connected to everything, everyone, and you believe in God, and you know He's walking beside you, then you are just fine. You're just fine. That's the goal. That's what we need to do. We need to reconnect everybody back to the divine, back to our home. We lost that connection a long time ago, and we lost humanity. We are no longer human. We're just going through the motions, and we have no empathy, no sympathy, no patience. There's a lot of things we don't have because we lost our connection. And that is what our goal is. We need to reconnect with God. They've taken Him away. They took Him away. They told Him He doesn't exist or He's unimportant. And He's the most important thing there is. So the soul lesson is to be one with Source, God, the universe, whatever you want to call Him. The color is violet, and the note, the musical note, is B, and it's T. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. And the frequency is 963. See how that kept going up and up? And it develops between the age of 42 and 49. So that means at 50, you are spiritually mature chakra-wise. That's when everybody goes through their midlife crisis in their 50s, right? Do you know why they go through their midlife crisis? It's not a crisis. It's you've decided, or not decided, you have figured out that you are not doing your soul path. You're not doing your purpose. You don't feel whole. It might look good on paper. You might be making lots of money. You might be with a beautiful woman or a good man. But that's not who you're supposed to be with or what you're supposed to be doing. We all come here with a plan, and when we are spiritually mature, we figure out what that plan is, and then we start going in that direction. If you're brave enough. Now, if you're not brave enough, you just stay in that go-nowhere job and feel empty inside, or stay in that relationship which you have no feelings for. You can love them, absolutely, but you're not in love with them. They're not your soul choice. So that's why everybody goes on a midlife crisis in their 50s. Some people just buy expensive cars and try to cover it up. That's them trying to go in the opposite direction to make themselves feel better, to feel whole. They'll never feel whole. Not like that. That's not how you feel wholeness. Wholeness is reconnecting with God, finding your soul path, finding your soul purpose, and living a life of bliss, beauty, and simplicity. Having humility, being grounded. That's the key. All of those things are the key. It's not money. It's not fame. It's not who has the most possessions. You're not supposed to be attached to anything. You're just supposed to be here to learn and flow through life and live simply and the best that you can. And if you feel one with God, then you're probably doing it. So anyway, let's get back to this. The qualities of the crown chakra are psychological maturity and spiritual maturity. And many go on their awakenings at this time. This is when a lot of people, if you go too early, you don't finish. You know, there's a lot of people that go early on their spiritual awakening because of psychedelics or a bad accident or trauma of some sort, some huge event in their life where they lost everything, you know, a tornado even, or a huge divorce. But if you're not spiritually mature chakra-wise, you don't tend to finish. You tend to go back to the personas and back to the conditioning of what society has, instead of going on to you being an individual. Because that's what we're doing. We're trying to become our own person, ourself. Individual who has our own thoughts and our own imagination and our own views of the world. Not following, not followers. So that's why when you're 50 years old, you find that you don't know who you are. You don't know why you're doing this, you know? And there's many of us who went through it. Many of us. Anyway, if it's balanced, you feel joy, bliss, and you surrender. Now, surrendering is just going with the flow. You're not fighting it. You're not trying to control anything. You're surrendering to life. You're open to suggestions. You're not rigid. You're not strict. You're just, oh, well, that happened. Okay, we're going to do that. That's part of the process. And let's see what else we got here. No, you know that you're never alone. That source is always with you, or God, and you have a higher way of thinking. You can see the entire picture. That's supreme, because everybody's seen through a little dot, little hole. They have no vision whatsoever. They know that they have to go to work and they go home, or they go to the bar, or whatever they do. They have this routine and they have this small world. But those that are spiritually awakened, they have vision. They can see. They just know things. That's seeing the whole picture. You can put things together. You're almost like a detective in a way, because you just know some things. You can't explain it. You can't tell anybody about it, but you just know. And it helps you in your life. And we see with our heart and our head balanced. Okay, the gland that the crown does is the pineal gland. And you've heard a lot of things about the pineal gland, I'm assuming. You know, it controls sleep patterns, your menstrual cycles, your deep rhythm cycles of the body. But it's our connection to higher consciousness. And if you use fluoride toothpaste, you crust that gland over, and it's harder to be spiritual. If you do things without integrity, you can crust that gland. There's a lot of ways. It's best to research that and research the pineal gland. And there's so much mystery about it. The scientists, they have such a small vision. You know, they have formulas and things, but they don't understand spirituality. So there isn't much out there telling us what the pineal gland really is. We just know that it's our higher consciousness. It's our connection. Some believe there's a silver cord from the pineal gland to God, right directly to Him. That's what I've heard anyway. And if it's unbalanced or blocked, your crown chakra, you feel alone. You feel completely alone. You don't believe in source or God. The ego is huge. Okay, if your crown chakra is blocked, your ego is running the show. That's all there is to it. And you have false pride and arrogance. You feel invincible and nobody can conquer you. And this is the huge issue going on. I know I said that twice now, but this is another one of the huge issues going on in the world. This separates people. This is racism. This is discrimination. This is all these things. Those things don't really exist. It's just that they exist because everybody's in this state of mind. And they're stuck. They're just stuck. And hate, everybody hates each other. You know, we're divided by politics. I mean, Republicans and Democrats. When I was a kid, it was no big deal to be sitting at a table with a Democrat or a Republican. You know, whatever you were, it didn't matter. You just had different points of views, but you could have coffee together. Now, you can't go to Thanksgiving dinner and be next to mom or dad because your views are different and everybody is just in a uproar. Well, this is part of it. We're not connected. We're not connected to each other. If we're not connected to God, we're not connected to each other. And the only way we're going to get through this is if we stop the BS and start loving and cleaning ourselves up. So to have a chakra overactive, it's usually the chakra above that's blocked. We don't quite have that. There are other chakras up in the, whatever you want to call that, in the atmosphere, ethereal chakras, but we don't have that. So to have an overactive problem, you have to have too much meditation or too many spiritual practices. You're obsessed with spirituality and you're doing it way too much. I remember a guy on a video and he was bragging that he meditated 2 to 3 hours a day, and I'm thinking, are you insane? Are you getting anything else done? How can you just sit there for that long? I would just go insane. I mean, I meditate every day, but 2 to 3 hours? Well, that's overactive crown chakra. Yeah. And he was very arrogant. He was very arrogant. But having a bunch of charged crystals around you and you're having so much energy flowing through you, that's why we are spiritually ascending slowly, because then our systems can recalibrate and recalibrate and recalibrate. Remember what I told you, our frequency is a rate and it's set. But it's not set in stone, it's just a set rate, and it takes a bunch to get it to move. Where your energy fluctuates all the time. It's up and down and up and down and up and down. It's the rate of energy in you is your frequency. So that's why we are raising our frequency so slow, because otherwise we will burn out. We can't go that fast. We'll have a bunch of narcissists running around. It'd be worse, actually. So everything takes time, and it's God's time. And I can't tell you any different. That's it. I mean, I've been in my spiritual awakening for over 10 years, and I'm not done. I haven't gotten very far. I'm far, but I still haven't gotten to that bliss part yet. I'm getting closer and closer, and every day feels better, but I'm getting there. And you can too. And I'm going to try it as much as I can to help you get to a clean energy system and a clean body. So the next video I will have is cleaning the chakras, healing them up, trying your darndest to get all cleaned up. So I hope you can come back again, and I thank you so much for viewing this, and